So I'm Haitham Mattar, the Chief Executive Officer for Ras Al Khaimah's Tourism Development Authority.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining Breaking Travel News today.
Thank you.
We're here on the first day of ITB Berlin 2017. How's the show going for you this year?
So far the show has been quite busy, as we've seen from the footfall on the stand, and obviously the number of appointments that were pre-scheduled before we arrived. So we had anticipated a busy show in advance of our arrival to Berlin. The ITB has been always a key show for us to be present in, as it is the largest trade show, and it really comes in a great time where we are focusing on signing deals for the next season.
You've been very proactive in the tourism sector. You've got a very clear pathway ahead of what you'd like to achieve in the tourism sector. I think that comes under the title Destination 2019. Could you tell our viewers here in Europe and around the world a little bit about that?
Sure. So in January 2016, we launched our Destination 2019 strategy, which was based on informed studies and insights, where we worked with companies such as TNS to do the largest and first consumer research ever, including the UK, obviously, and rest of Europe. And also the study what we did with McKinsey on the markets to look at the gaps and look at the white space that we want to fill in. This has given us a clear indication of how to position Ras Al Khaimah as a destination where we've learned so much about how today's travelers buy, so their buying behaviors, the buying trends, and what they're looking for when they travel. There's always been that misconception that Ras Al Khaimah has only beach resorts to offer, but when we looked at the results of the studies, and we saw that yes, the number one motivator for travel is actually beach, sun, and sand. However, number 2, 3, and 4 was about adventure, connecting with the country's people, learning about the history, the culture, and looking around Ras Al Khaimah's natural assets. There was absolutely a no-brainer for us to launch a strategy that focused on those markets where our greatest assets can become of great value.
And I believe you're very conscious of how to maintain those assets in the sort of long term, mid to long term as well. Sustainability is a very important element of what you're trying to achieve within the tourism sector.
Yes, when United Nations World Tourism Organizations dedicated 2017 to be the year of sustainable tourism for development, we thought it would be a no-brainer for us to support their efforts, as sustainable tourism is actually one of our pillars in Destination 2019 strategy. Our natural assets, we've got the highest mountains in the UAE. We have also a beautiful desert and a pristine beaches with wildlife reserves in the desert where you can see oryx and you can see deer in their natural habitats, as well as camels. But also in the sea we have a marine life reserve where you see turtles and stingrays and flamingos as well. So sustainable tourism for us is not just about a painted picture in the front, but it's actually beyond all this, and it goes all the way back to activities where we reduce our footprint, working closer with the hotels on finding newer ways to reduce footprint and carbon footprint, but also really finding additional ways to attract tourism where people can enjoy nature. For example, one of the key sustainable tourism activities that we are working on is promoting the dark sky reserves, and Ras Al Khaimah is one of the places in the world that has some of the darkest skies. Of course, the lesser development, the desert that we have in the mountains allows us to have these dark skies, but that's for people who enjoy stargazing. And stargazing is a growing trend, and people travel to different places to watch the stars. And this is something that we are now building a reserve for the dark skies as part of our sustainable tourism strategy as well.
Is that something that's been able to differentiate yourselves from other markets in the UAE? Is that sort of a deliberate angle to go for?
It is a deliberate angle. Some people perceive us as underdeveloped. We perceive us as natural. we perceive us as sustainable, and we perceive us as an emirate. I call it a boutique emirate. Some people, think, what does boutique mean? Well, we're a small niche emirate with only 5,000 hotel rooms, and even when you look at our growth strategy and our 2019 destination strategy and 2025 strategy, we're only going to reach 20 to 25,000 rooms in the next 10 years or so. So we will not advocate it for the masses. We will not be in a rush to build the tallest tower or the biggest shopping mall in the world because it's only an hour away from us.
And yes, I was going to mention you've been well received by the private sector. You've got Yana Hotels, Movenpick, Rotana, some strong brands coming in as well.
Yes, as well as the JW Marriott, also the Movenpick, which is now under construction. The Ritz-Carlton has just made its way into Ras Al Khaimah as well, in two properties, one on the beach and one in the desert, which is actually, they have an event coming up to support sustainable tourism, which is about planting the trees in the desert called gaff trees, which are actually some indigenous to the area trees. And in the other brands that we are also in discussions with, such as the Millennium Hotel, which is also coming in, and the Residor Park Inn by Residor.
So adventure tourism, another key part of your offering. I believe you're building the world's tallest zip line from the Middle East's tallest mountains.
Yeah. It's the tallest mountains and the longest zip line. So what we have today built recently and launched last November is a Via Ferrata. Via Ferrata is an Italian term for the Iron Path. This is what the Italian army used to use in the Alps to move around the mountains. Now this is the first commercial Via Ferrata we built in the UAE. With the longest zip line to 300 meters long only at this stage. It has 3 climbing levels. It will take approximately 3 zip lines. It could take people up to 2.5–3 hours, depending on their fitness level, to complete the whole circuit. The longest zip line we have now is 300 meters at 430 meters high. So if you put this into perspective, it's at about as high as a 30-story building. It's really a great adrenaline rush, and it's the closest thing you can do to nature, to be connected with nature. As part of this success story that we've seen on the Via Ferrata, from the demand we have seen, we have decided to expand its capacity to take up to 200 people a day. Now we can only take 16. But we have a growing demand from the corporate sector, from the MICE groups, who want to do team building and leadership building activities with the Via Ferrata. We're also building the longest zip line in the world. So I can't tell you how long it's going to be yet, but I can tell you one thing. The longest zip line in the world today is in Puerto Rico. It's 2.5 kilometers long, and we're going to have to beat that.
Have you been around the Via Ferrata yourself?
I have been. I actually inaugurated it, so I opened it, was one of the first to be on it, and did the whole course. It is absolutely fantastic. And I also have been on the longest zip line in the world. So I traveled to Puerto Rico to experience it, so I know what we're building.
Okay, well, hopefully we can visit and check out both facilities.
Absolutely. Sounds great.
Thank you for talking to Breaking
Thank you.
today.
Thank you. My pleasure.